Hello, and welcome to another... Wait, seriously? Let's try that again. Hello, and welcome to another exciting segment of the ChatterBox with Crickette, your lifestyle and entertainment talk radio from the heart of the Southwest. And now, here's your lovely and charming host, Crickette Gill.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the ChatterBox with Crickette. I am your host, Crickette Gill, and I don't have my usual happy co-pilot today. The ubiquitous Biker Mike is not feeling so well. As many of you know, our lovely Biker Mike does have dialysis. He is searching for a kidney. If you know anyone that's willing to give up a kidney, be sure to hit us up on our website at thechatterboxradio.com. We would love to take that off your hands and give it to our wonderful, the ubiquitous Biker Mike. Today's discussion, we're going to actually chat with the lovely ladies of Menopause the Musical. Menopause the Musical is currently playing at the Palms Theater in Mesa. It's off Brown and Higley, and you can check out their website for tickets. I believe it's thepalmstheater.com, and you can score some tickets for Menopause the Musical. Now, I know that many of you that are listening know all about menopause, whether you be male or female. It is not just a woman's problem. Believe me, the guys suffer as well. So one of the wonderful things about this play is that it not only brings both sexes together in harmony to discuss the ups and downs of menopause. It actually makes light of the situation and makes many of us facing the change, I mean myself, feel a little bit better about it. So welcome to the Chatterbox ladies of Menopause the Musical.
Thank you.
And I have to tell you guys, I was cracking up as the intro was playing just because you guys are just hilarious just in the studio on your own. So let's go around the horn, and I'd like you all to introduce yourself, starting to my left.
Hi, I'm Megan Opalinski, and I'm playing Earth Mother.
Hi, I'm Whitney Hayes.
Can you get a little bit closer?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm Whitney Hayes, and I'm playing Power Woman.
Power Woman.
I'm Eleonore Thomas, and I play Iowa Housewife.
And I'm Andi Watson, and I play the Soap Star.
The Soap Star. All right, so now that you have our cast of characters up, I can tell you, first of all, that in person you guys look nothing like your stage characters. The transformation is amazing. So I go into the Palm Theater last week to check out opening night. You ladies come on the stage. You look like 5 inches taller, the professional woman. And it's just the transformation is just amazing. As the Earth Mother, I had no idea it was you when I saw you. So you ladies could be walking down the street and no one would even recognize you from the musical. So tell me how you got involved in this project. Anyone can start.
Well, most of us, I think, auditioned in New York City for this. The Prather Family of Theaters was holding their annual auditions, and they had several shows lined up. I know I went in looking to be in South Pacific as
really?
Bloody Mary because I've played the role before.
Uh-huh.
And when I got offered the show, I was completely surprised because I'm like, I'm a little young for menopause. But I think we all think that, don't we?
You're all young for menopause. All of you are pretty young for menopause.
Andi,
I don't know.
Andi's the only one that didn't audition in New York for this one.
Where did you audition, Andi?
I actually had submitted a video. I, of course, was born and raised in Arizona and had moved to Florida, and because the Prather family has theaters in both states, I thought it was a good idea to contact them and remind them that I had auditioned for them and how fantastic I was. And so
She's modest, too.
They initially, Erin Fish was playing the Soap Star for the previous cities in the run, and she is, I think she might be back now, but she was on her honeymoon, or had scheduled her honeymoon, and so she was unable to do this leg of the run when they decided to come back out for the Palms opening.
Okay.
So I got a call from the Prathers, and they said, would you be interested in filling in for us? And I said, absolutely. I, of course, did not know what I was getting myself into then. So
None of us did.
So sheer ignorance. I accepted and was able to meet these lovely ladies, and they took me under their wing and brought me into the fold.
And Whitney, how did you get involved in the production?
I auditioned in New York. I have to be honest and say that I had only heard of Prather Entertainment Group. I'd never worked for them, and my friend was going, and she was like, just go. I was like, all right, why not? And so I went, and I had heard that they were doing Shrek as well, and I was like, cool, I want to be in Shrek. And then I got called back for Menopause, and I didn't know that show either, and so I went and learned it, and came back the next day and finished my callback, and then found out that I was going to be Power Woman in Menopause the Musical. So that's how that went down.
Well, that sounds easy, but not really easy. And then Megan, how did you get involved?
I was also in New York, but I was auditioning for Sound of Music because I had played the role of Mother Abbess twice. So I thought, I'll just go, and they actually called me back to sing for that as well. And asked if I had any disco music in my book, which I did not.
I don't think many of us do.
Something else. And then had the whole callback process as well. And then I actually was originally the swing for Iowa Housewife and Earth Mother. So I got to learn 2 roles at once, which was very exciting. And unfortunately, our Earth Mother got injured during the rehearsal process in Florida.
Oh, boy.
So I ended up going on for her within the last 3 days of rehearsal and then opening up. So I assumed her role because she had to have knee surgery, and we missed her a lot. We love you, Autumn.
Yeah. Surgery, that's a bad word around here.
Yeah.
So how long did you ladies rehearse for the production?
2 weeks.
Yeah, it was a 2-week process.
Just 2 weeks? Wow.
Normally,
10 days in tech or something crazy.
Yeah, normally they have a 3-week process for this show, but because of the relationship with the theater and the contract agreement, we were given 10 days of rehearsal and then 3 or 4 days of tech to get it on.
That's very intense. I mean, I can't memorize anything in 10 days. I mean, I can barely memorize a phone number.
We didn't sleep a lot.
Yeah, I can
there was no
imagine.
sleep during the first 2 weeks.
But you know,
The first
it
one.
shows in your performance. That opening night performance was so flawless. I was immediately impressed. The minute that Whitney, because Whitney, you opened the show, right? So the minute that Whitney walked on stage, I was just, captivated, and it just went on from there. And you ladies held the momentum, and you just kept going, and it was just so well put together that I forgot that I was sitting in a little theater in East Mesa. I've been to some Broadway productions, I've been to off-Broadway productions, I've been to productions, in Chicago's own theater houses and so forth, and those are elaborate. I mean, you have these giant props, and you have helicopters that aren't really helicopters, but they look like helicopters, so you have all these things going on, and you really get sucked in. And it is not that I had low expectations because of where it was. I mean, I had high expectations, and I'm glad that you ladies met those expectations. So how long have you been touring? Because you are a touring cast. How long have you been touring for this production?
Well, we started rehearsing at the end of March in Florida. And as we said, we had 2 weeks of rehearsal. So I guess opening was April something. April 9th or 10th, yeah. So we've been together close to 8 months. Well, we'll be close to 8 months by the time we're finished on November 23rd.
Okay.
It's a long time.
And Andi, you're the newbie.
I am. I'm the new girl.
I like the fact that you guys kind of just fell right into the group. I mean, you guys are an interesting group of girls. Yes. And I would love to grab a beer with you outside.
Yes. Can we make it wine on my side, please?
Yes, we can make it wine. Because that would be so awesome. You ladies are just hilarious. I mean, I love the fact that you all get along so well together. I mean, I understand that there will be disagreements. I mean, we are women, so we do have the tendency to be a little catty, and we can embrace that. But how do you resolve any differences that you might have off stage, and any differences in, I don't know, where you're going to have dinner, all the way up to you hit the wrong note in rehearsal or something? How do you resolve those differences?
I think like any situation, in any family, there's a lot of good communication between most of us, the majority of us. And I think when it comes to on stage, we're all a part of the same team. We all have the same goal, and the ultimate goal is to put on a good show and, to have our stuff together. So I don't see a whole lot of conflict, and of course I'm the newbie. But there, when it comes to the show itself and the production, I think everybody having the same ultimate goal, there really isn't any negative energy. There isn't any I don't know even how to say it. There's not a lot of tension as far as the show's concerned. And then off stage, I think like any household, it's kind of everybody's left to everybody's a human being and everybody's a grown up. So, we're left to our own devices, and
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I think at this point, too, we all know each other well enough that it's like, well, I know if I have this kind of situation, I can handle it this way with this person, but it needs to be this way with this other person, or this other person is a different way. So you really get to know everyone's,
and
ins
respect.
and outs and figure out what the best route to take.
How do you feel about being in a production that discusses something as sensitive for some people as menopause?
I don't find it sensitive. A few people have asked us about that, and I don't know if it's just because of my age and my generation. I feel like nothing is off topic or taboo. So
nothing's off
I
the
didn't
table.
realize that it was a big deal. Like, I didn't know that people didn't talk about it. I was like, so what? You have hot flashes? Bummer. Like, but all these women come up after the show and they're like, I thought I was the only one. I didn't know that other people went through this. And I was shocked to hear that because I didn't realize that was the case. But
I would imagine that it would be kind of freeing for women to be able to just talk openly about this. But we are going to pause for a moment, take a break, and when we come back, we are going to menopause for a moment. And when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about the musical and you ladies' background and so forth, okay? We'll be right back with the ChatterBox with Crickette.
Do you owe the IRS? Do you have unfiled tax returns? Have you received a wage garnishment or bank levy? Maybe a lien has been filed against you. OMG Tax can help you with all your IRS tax problems. Don't wait another second. Take action now. Call my team at OMG Tax. Honest and professional, we don't make false promises. If you owe back taxes or if the IRS is garnishing your paycheck, you need help now. OMG Tax can help you get your life back to normal. If you're serious about handling your tax matter, call OMG Tax now and get the peace of mind you deserve. Don't let the IRS take your next paycheck. Stop waiting and call our team at OMG Tax. OMG Tax has a straightforward, no-nonsense approach and has helped many Americans resolve their IRS nightmare. Call OMG Tax now.
Call 1-800-554-4156. That's 1-800-554-4156. 800-554-4156.
Do you desire a strong social media presence but just don't know how to do it or simply don't have the time? That's where the Fab Social can help. The Fab Social focuses on maximizing your social media presence through various outlets such as Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest. The experts at the Fab Social recognize the latest trends in online marketing so you don't have to. Maintaining a strong social media presence can be challenging. The Fab Social can help. To find out more, visit them online at thefabsocial.com.
Looking for a way to showcase your talent? Do you have a unique look that is unlike any other? Empire Talent and Models, Arizona's premier licensed talent and modeling agency, is looking for you. Voted Best in the Valley for both 2011 and 2012, Empire Talent and Models offers representation for all types and levels of experience. To learn more, visit them online at empiretalentandmodels.com or call 480-778-1919.
Hi, Crickette here, and I want to share a story with you about my beloved cat, Aries. Aries was in the middle of a transition from being an indoor-outdoor cat to a strictly indoor cat. And let me tell you, he wasn't taking it very well at all. He would whine loudly and meow to go outside every single evening. That's when I finally decided to call on animal energy healer Lisa Alstelder. The process was simple. We just answered a few questions, set up an appointment, and Aries received his first energy healing session with Lisa within 48 hours. It was a wonderful experience, not only for Aries, but for the entire family. That same night, he was so much calmer. I am bowled over at how at peace he is now. Words really can't express how grateful I am for Lisa's help. If your furry friend is stressed or in pain, an energy healing session with Lisa Alstelder is the way to go. For more information, go to workwithlisao.com or give her a call for a complimentary phone consultation at 602-502-3065.
A website that helps people who have credit issues get approved for a home? Really? Yes, it's called DreamHouseApproved.com. That's DreamHouseApproved.com. Here's how easy it is. If you want your family to live in a house again, but like many people, you got caught up in the collapse of housing values and ended up with a foreclosure or a short sale, you know it's impossible to deal with banks and mortgage companies. There's too many restrictions or impediments. DreamHouseApproved.com provides you with a way to get into your very own home again without having to go through the long, agonizing process of red tape with banks only to be turned down. If you have the money for a down payment and can afford the monthly payment, credit will not be an issue. There's fast turnaround, too. So visit DreamHouseApproved.com and see what they have for you. If it's a fit, you could be approved for your dream home in just days. DreamHouseApproved.com. That's DreamHouseApproved.com. DreamHouseApproved.com.
And welcome back to the ChatterBox with Crickette. I am your host, Crickette Gill, and along with me in the studio, I have the ladies of Menopause the Musical. And I think we have a treat for you.
Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. Change, change, change. 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 Change, change, change of life.
Woo! That was amazing.
It's a little early.
You guys are good for a little early in the morning. Really.
After the show, it'll be in the appropriate theater.
Well, I think that sounded great for studio time. I really do. That was awesome. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. You guys are so funny. All right, so you've been to Florida, and there was a show, a run in Illinois. Mm-hmm. And then where was the other one?
Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Amish country.
And so how long will this production run here?
Till November 23rd.
Oh, okay. So we just have a few more weeks to catch you ladies.
This is actually our shortest portion of the run, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder why it's so short. Maybe it's because it's Thanksgiving? I don't know.
Well, and they're just reopening the theater, too.
Oh,
so I think that has something to do with it. But they brought us out really quickly after we ended in Lancaster. We ended in Lancaster 2 weeks before we came out here. We just had a short little break.
Was that kind of a last-minute decision? Is that why it was so rushed, as far as them deciding to open up the Palms now as opposed to waiting?
I think the decision for us to go, I think the decision for us to be there was last minute, I guess. They had been in talks of reopening, but I think they were deciding what cast was going.
And what show to open with,
yeah.
whether there was going to be... They're doing a lot of concert shows now, too. Mm-hmm. So I think they actually had a soft opening with the concert shows. Is that correct? Yes. And then they brought us in. And there's going to be some concerts after us. And then they're doing a swingin' Christmas.
Oh, nice.
And they're going to also open up their Marquee Theater, which is the smaller theater that's going to be doing comedies, mostly non-musical comedies in that space.
And Fiddler and South Pacific.
South Pacific
are going to be coming in as
and
well.
I think Peter Pan? Is there a production of... No,
Sleeping Beauty.
Sleeping Beauty. I know one of those
Which
Disney
our
characters.
Rob is directing.
Oh, okay.
He's hiding in the corner right now.
Yeah, the director's hiding in the corner. He doesn't want to say anything. That's all right.
No,
all right.
we just don't let him get a word in edgewise.
That's true. I think he likes it that way. So I wanted to know how you got started in acting. We can go around the horn, and we can start with Andi.
I started as a child.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually doing Chandler Children's Theater, which is, I think, no longer in existence. And honestly, I started young enough that I was too dumb to realize what I was doing at the time.
It wasn't your choice.
It was my choice to be outgoing and to be a ham and to hog the spotlight, I think. Mm-hmm. But I don't think I understood performance, as it were. But I also come from a very musical family. My father's a pianist. My mother plays viola. My grandmother sings. So it was always just kind of, I think, in the blood. So I think it's inevitable. Even if I had ended up going into accounting, I probably would have stood up on the desk and sang every Saturday.
Sometimes you just can't hold that back. I mean, if you have a calling, you have a calling. So, Eleanor, what about you?
Well, I actually started off as a ballet dancer. You wouldn't believe that now, but I thought I was going to have a career as a ballerina. Mm-hmm. But I guess my first show, I was probably about 7 or 8 years old. It was a church play, and I've always played older than I am. Mm-hmm. So I was the little old lady, and I had to gray my hair and put it in a bun and have a cane. So I guess I'm used to playing slightly older than I am.
Slightly older? You're 7 or 8 years old.
Well, yes, but at this point, I'm playing slightly older than I am. So it's been in my blood to be a performer from the get-go, from the very beginning. Played piano as a child as well, and went to school for voice at Westminster Choir College.
Oh, okay. Okay, and then Whitney?
I sang the I Love You song from the Barney show when I was 2 at my grandpa's retirement party. And my family likes to remind me of that every chance they can.
That was your first stage
That
performance.
was my big debut. But I was a total tomboy growing up, so I was like, no, singing's not cool. Like, no, I can't do that. I'm going to go play a zillion sports. And then I realized that it was my passion, and so I sang with an all-girls choir in Pittsburgh, and then did the shows and everything, plays and musicals in high school, and then went to college for it and studied musical theater and minored in music. So
Okay. And Megan?
I played violin from the age of 3. My parents started me on that, and then I played piano and flute. So, and I sang like in church, and I sang, for fun, but I never took it seriously, really, until I decided I was going to go to college for it and got into school for opera, and then realized I was in way over my head because everybody else in the program had been studying for years and years and years already and could already sing in Italian, and I couldn't do any of that. It was quite the learning curve for me. But I first fell in love with theater when I was watching the movie Annie when I was in nursery school. Became obsessed with Annie. My mom made me a costume for Halloween that I proceeded to wear constantly. I would never leave the house without a locket around my neck.
Oh, my goodness.
Instead of a Barbie dream house, I had the cardboard Annie mansion with action figures. So I became slightly obsessed with that as a kid, and really, I guess, always knew that that's what I wanted to do. I saw Cats when I was in 2nd grade for the first time. That was like my first big stage show, and I think the moment I saw that, I knew that this is kind of what I wanted to do, but it was more of a music influence and not so much the voice to begin with.
When you ladies were called back for Menopause the Musical, I know some of you weren't even auditioning for that. It was like the furthest thing from your mind at the time, so when you got the call, I'm sure you were surprised. How did you feel about performing some of the songs that were slated for that musical? Like, what's the one with the self-gratification?
That would be Only You.
Only You. Yeah, some of those songs can be a little uncomfortable, How did you feel about that?
Well, actually, when I was called back,
Especially since it was your song.
and I was called back for that role, I remember going into the studio to audition for the part, and the accompanist handed me his water bottle as a prop because I use a microphone in the show. And at the end of my audition, he said, "I don't need that back."
My God.
And that song in particular was a real challenge, only because you have to be very open on stage for everyone to see that. So, yeah, when my mom came to see the show, it was exciting and a little awkward. And we had nuns. We had 6 nuns in Illinois.
Oh, no.
And I had to decide, okay, I'm going to give them the same show I give everybody else. And I remember at the end of the show, there's a moment where we ask our audience up on stage, any of you who are listening, please come join us. And I went right to the nuns and said, hey, would you like to come up? And they actually did. We had 6 kicking nuns on stage in Illinois.
They're still women.
Exactly.
So
And they still go through the change.
Yes, unfortunately. I think that's our curse. I mean, childbirth and everything. Children are great. I love my boys to pieces, and I'm sure those of you that have children love yours as well. But like we were saying earlier, surrogate moms or adoption would be great.
So the way to go.
Yeah, because of the toll it takes on your bodies. And then we have to face this as well. I'm not looking forward to menopause. I heard it's not fun.
You saw a musical about it.
I did see a musical about it. But that was what made the musical so great for me, was that it took some of the things that can be very embarrassing for us as women, like the hot flashes and the night sweats and those things that can be just downright humiliating. I mean, you don't want to be sitting on a bus and all of a sudden you're like fanning yourself like crazy and everyone's looking at you going, what's wrong with her? And it does help to bring awareness to the issue for women, and I think you ladies pulled it off very well.
Thank you.
So what's up next for you after this?
Going home and having Thanksgiving with my
Taking
family.
Taking a break. How often do you go out on the road? I mean, is it often that you go out on? Oh, it's just kind of.
I think for most of us, we're all pretty involved in regional theater, so I think probably a majority of what we do work-wise involves travel.
This year, I haven't been. I have an apartment in New York that I've sublet since last December because I haven't been there because of work. So
And what are your favorite songs? What are your favorite numbers in this production?
Good Vibrations. It's only 10 seconds long, but I love it.
What about you, Whitney?
I don't know. Beach Boys?
Beach Boys.
I don't know.
Eleanor.
I kind of love Only You now that I've gotten used to it.
And Andi.
My favorites are all the songs I'm not in. So that's
My favorite is My Thighs. I love
I
it.
do love that one. That's
All right,
pretty
well, that
hilarious.
was the ladies of Menopause the Musical. You can check them out at the Palm Theater. The address is 5247 East Brown Road in Mesa. You can also purchase your tickets online at thepalmstheater.com. For more information, check us out online at thechatterboxradio.com. And I'd like to thank everyone for listening, and we'll check with you next Saturday at 10. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Where sirens sing, warm me up in a Nova's glow, and drop me down to the dream